Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He is an independent fighter from right here in Bend, Oregon. His cage fighting record is 4 wins and 3 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gary Thompson.
Local boy, Gary Thompson.
And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. His record stands at 3 wins and only 1 loss. Representing Next Level MMA from Portland, Oregon, Shamsuddin Moussaui.
Shams Moussaui back in the cage tonight after a previous Budo fight. He is back here at Budofights 3 out of Next Level MMA. Ref's gonna go over the rules, and let's start this main event for you folks.
You know, I love how Budofights are loyal to their fighters. The fighters come here, they put on a good show. Budofights goes out of their way to make sure they get back here and represent again. That's a sign of a great organization.
This promotion definitely takes care of its fighters and understands what it takes to make these shows happen, and it makes it happen.
All right, we're on, Heather. Shams comes out very aggressive, closes the distance very fast, drops down, double leg. Gary Thompson goes to fight it. Shams is in deep. Referee saw a little bit grab of the cage here, and he's taking a point right off the bat from Gary Thompson. That's not a good sign, Heather.
That could hurt in a belt fight. Not good at all. But you know what? At this level, you need to know better.
He grabbed the cage to prevent a takedown. He was specifically, not him, the fighters were specifically warned against that in the fighters meeting ahead of time.
Absolutely no secret what the
Shams coming out showing hands. He's just not a wrestler, he's throwing hands. Gets the tie-up, starts working overhand, underhand. Gary Thompson doing his best, gets turned around. Gary Thompson's butt on the cage, not a good spot. Shams picks him up,
nice
double
slam.
leg, straight to side control.
Awesome slam by Shams.
Shams has that knee riding up, and there's full mount, Heather. Not a good spot for Gary. He's got to do something now, and it has to start with getting that head off the fence, because Shams has started to posture up and throw some punches. And he does just that, and he stands back up, and he's throwing punches.
This is explosive.
Big punches,
awesome.
big knee, goes for a takedown. Shams not going to have any of that. Picks him up and puts him on his butt again. Gary trying to hold on to that guillotine, but he just didn't have it. Shams jumps to full mount again. Gary can't keep having him in full mount. He's only going to get so many of those wild cards where he gets out of those, Heather.
Absolutely. This is just an awesome fight. You know,
Shams takes his back. Gary gets elevation, turns around, slams him, and reverses the position.
Impressive reversal.
And now he's landed big punches off the top.
This is not good for Shams. This is not what he intended, Trent. But Shams is no veteran to the cage. He's no veteran to Budo fights. He's here to get the belt. I expect to see him reverse this.
Shams gets back to his feet. Double leg. Takedown. He's in side control again.
You know, the fan favorite here is obviously the local boy, but Shams is having nothing of it.
Shams goes to half and then jumps to full mount again, Heather. Gary is like a cat with 9 lives. And he comes around, and Shams starts to throw on the triangle, and he has it sunk.
Nicely done.
Gary's got to fight this from here. He's got to rotate around, and he slips out again and throws an uppercut on Shams sitting up. Then partially hits him to flex off, and Shams gets the takedown again.
Again! This is just impressive, Trent. I mean, this is our main event, and this is what the folks have waited for. This is awesome.
Shams jumps to full mount. Again, we've seen this a couple times before, Heather, and the 10-second clicker goes off as he's trying to pull off a key lock as Gary Thompson reverses him again. My goodness, and there's the bell. Wow, what a round.
That sounds good to me, Trent. That was quite a round. I mean, who do you think won that, Trent? Would you want to be a judge on that?
You know, I wouldn't, but I would lean a little bit more towards Shams just because he had the positions that Gary Thompson kept getting out of. You know, like I said, Gary Thompson like a cat with 9 lives. I think he's gone through about 5 of them already, Heather.
4 left.
He has 4 left. Is that going to last him this whole second round?
One can't know.
One doesn't know. You know, the big question is, what is Gary Thompson's corner telling him to do to adjust for this next round? How can he avoid that takedown?
You know, he's not giving anything that Shams doesn't have an answer for, Trent. It's got to be frustrating.
I don't have an answer for it. I don't know how to stop the takedowns of Shams. You move your feet, he takes you down. You plant, he takes you down.
He's a rolling acrobatic.
He is. Oh, and look at that. And he comes right in, single leg. Here we go. Takedown. Gary this time goes to work from guard. Shams just steps around it like there is no guard. Shams starts working that forearm for a key lock. Gary says no. Shams says, okay, I will take this full mount. And he's starting to land leather. Gary's starting to move out of it. Shams goes to take the back. I don't know if he's getting out of this one, Heather.
Rear naked choke possibly here.
I don't think he's getting out of this one. Shams has it locked up.
It is pretty tight, Trent.
It is tight.
There's another cat life leaving right now.
And he did it. Shams, that's okay. Shams says, all right, you know what? Maybe I need to soften you up. Postures up, starts whacking him a little bit on the ears, and goes right back for it.
You know, Shams says, no way am I losing this round. I will dominate this round. I will finish it. I'm going to get your back. I like the ground and pound. And
he has it sunk in deep now. That's deep. That's under his chin. I do not see him getting out of this.
How deep is it, Trent?
It's under his chin. That's deep. That's Grand Canyon deep right there.
Grand Canyon deep,
folks.
folks.
That's the depths of the ocean deep.
Depths
I don't know how he's still
deep.
conscious.
I don't know.
There's the tap. There's the tap.
It was that deep. Grand Canyon, folks.
He gets the tap. Just like that, Shams becomes the new 145-pound Budofights champion.